All right, and here we have someone going full-blown crazy fascist here. This person is Fakhrudin Sharafmal. He is a journalist, quote-unquote, and the host of a program on Ukrainian Channel 24, which is actually owned by the wife of the mayor of Lviv, one of the largest cities in Ukraine. And here he is saying that they should be culling Russian children. And he actually quotes Adolf Eichmann, who was one of the Nazis of his time, one of the biggest ones. And I quote YouTube, I'm just reading what he says in order to expose it. This certainly isn't my views. I know that as a journalist, I have to be objective, I have to be balanced in order to report information to you with a cold heart, but to tell you the truth, it's very hard to hold on now. Especially at a time like this, since we are called Nazis, fascists, and so on in Russia, I will allow myself to quote Adolf Eichmann, who said that in order to destroy a nation, you must destroy, first of all, children. Because if you kill their parents, the children will grow up and take revenge. By killing children, they will never grow up and the nation will disappear. The armed forces of Ukraine cannot kill Russian children because it is forbidden by the rules of war, and it is prohibited by various conventions, including the Geneva Convention. But I am not from the armed forces of Ukraine. And when I get the chance to take out the Russians, I will definitely do it. Since you call me a Nazi, I adhere to the doctrine of Adolf Eichmann, and I will do everything in my power to ensure that you and your children never live on this earth, so that you can feel what it is like when innocent civilians die, so that you can feel all the pain and suffering when you say, quote-unquote, we didn't start the war, it was Putin, we didn't want this war. Well, maybe you should have thought about that when you were bombing the Donbass and killing thousands of women and children there. But anyways, I continue with this. We didn't want it either. But you have to understand that it's about the victory of the Ukrainian people, not about peace. We need victory. And if we have to slaughter all your families to do it, I'll be one of the first to do it. Glory to the nation, and hope that there will never be such a nation as Russia and the Russians on this earth again, because they are just scum who are destroying this land. If the Ukrainians have the opportunity, which they are basically doing right now, to destroy, to slaughter, to kill, to strangle the Muscovites, and I hope that everyone contributes and whacks at least one Moscow. Moscow is I guess, somewhat derogatory term for Russians, like Moscow. So this was, I believe it was yesterday when he said that. Now, he has since apologized from a very lackluster apology that you will be able to find here. I'll have the links below. And you can hear people, if you translate these, people are calling him out for it being pretty lackluster at best. But a couple other things. This isn't the first time that we've seen this on Ukrainian TV. There's another one here. This was from 2014, I believe. And this has subtitles, but I'll read this out as we go.
От ви спитали, як так може бути?
Okay, you asked me how it can
так
be
може бути
happening.
тому, що Донбас взагалі регіон, який,
Donbass in general.
ну,
This is the place, by the way, that they are killing people in Donetsk, Lugansk, those places. They tried to separate from Ukraine after they had the revolution there, or coup, in 2014.
депресивний регіон, розумієте? Там
Donbass is
стільки великий
simply
комплекс
not a
таких
region.
грона
There's
проблем,
not
і
simply a
головніше,
region in a
наприклад,
very
тому, що там
depressed condition.
просто дика кількість абсолютно непотрібних
Try
грона
this
проблем,
again.
і головніше,
It has a
наприклад,
whole
тому, що
bunch of
там
problems, biggest of which
просто
is it
дика
is
кількість
severely
абсолютно непотрібних
overpopulated with
людей.
people.
Виконують
Nobody
війти,
has
я
any
абсолютно
use for
свідомо
it.
про
Trust
це
me,
говорю.
I know what I'm
От
saying.
якщо брати
If we
навіть
take,
чисто
for
Донецьку
example,
область, там
just
приблизно
Donetsk
4
and
мільйони
Lugansk, there are
населення.
approximately 4
мільйона
million
півтора,
people.
там просто
At least
зайвих людей.
1.5 million of them are
Нам не треба
superfluous.
розуміти,
We don't need... He's speaking pretty fast. My goodness. Hold on.
що не менше мільйона півтора, там просто зайвих людей. Що хочу сказати?
We don't need
Нам не
to
треба розуміти
understand
Донбас, нам
Donbass. We
треба
need to
розуміти
understand
взагалі український
Ukrainian
національний
national
інтерес. А
interests.
Донбас треба просто
Donbass must be
використати як
exploited
ресурс,
as the resource which
який
it
треба.
is.
Відповідно, з
I
приводу
don't
розуміння
claim
Донбасу.
to have
Мені
a
здається,
quick
що
solution
в
recipe.
мене немає зрозуміння жодного рецепту, що тут можна зробити швидко, але Найголовніше, що треба
But the most
зробити
important
в
thing
даний
that must be
момент,
done, no matter how
як це
cruel it
там
may
жорстоко не
sound,
прозвучить, є
is a
певна
certain category
категорія
of
людей, які
people
треба
that
просто
must
вбити.
be exterminated. Now, this was on, I don't know how to pronounce it properly, the Hromadske TV, which is financed directly by U.S. and Dutch embassies. And this was one of the 3 or 4 channels that popped up right before that color revolution that happened. And get a load of who funds this. The Embassy of the Kingdom of the Netherlands, the Embassy of the United States of America, and the International Renaissance Fund. Now, if you look into the International Renaissance Fund, you will find that that foundation is a Ukrainian NGO funded by George Soros. And it was founded in April of 1990, right around their independence, right? Isn't that lovely? So once again, and you can find this, it's full context. People complain that it's edited, but it's pretty clear what he says, and people make the comments here on it. And this was April 29th of 2014. So there is a long history of this sort of radicalization in Ukraine that people don't really want to talk about. And in fact, that earlier video that I just showed you here, that's being now pulled off of YouTube. I hope this one isn't pulled because I'm trying to expose the hate speech that's going on within the country of Ukraine. Bear in mind that there are, I believe it's as much as 40% of Ukrainians have either Russian ethnicity or Russian descent. Many of them speak Russian, and his comments talking about killing of Russian children could easily be applied to the people of Donbass. And it certainly seems like there's a history of it, because what that guy was just talking about, this Bogdan Buketevich, one of Soros's puppets, right? He's speaking specifically about the Donbass region. So this is what we're dealing with here. This is what you guys are supporting when you stand with Ukraine. And hopefully you snap out of it, and snap out of it quick, because this is a one-way ticket to radicalization, and you don't want to fall into the same trap that the Ukrainians have been for almost a decade now. Anyways, thank you very much, guys. Subscribe if you're new, and we keep covering this topic as much as possible to expose the absolute travesty of the mainstream media on this. Thank you, and we'll see you on the next one.